What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I did want to talk about the Motorcycles and Midnight Club Los Angeles. Funny part is I do understand this game is coming up to, what is it, 17 years old now, and well, for some odd reason they still nailed the motorcycles all the way down. Now the first thing I do want to mention is I do understand that Midnight Club Los Angeles only has basically 3 or so motorcycles in it. It's not going to be like Midnight Club 3 where there's going to be a bunch of choppers and all kinds of other dope motorcycles, which I do wish we can actually see something like that in another racing game. It's been legit that long since we have, but I am probably going to be doing videos on Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix from the original PS2 version. Do stay tuned for that, guys, and I really feel like it's kind of insane that we really haven't seen many racing games with motorcycles like that. But fast forwarding to Midnight Club Los Angeles, which I'm sure everyone does know was the final game that was pretty much in the series. Insanely sad, I know, because I kind of think about this once in a while, and I do kind of wish they would end up making another version of the game, or at least I guess you could say maybe even, you know what, just don't even make another one, just remaster one of the old ones or the old ones, and I feel like a lot of people would be plenty happy with something just like that. But when I was using the motorcycles in this game, guys, I really do feel like a lot of players are not only still going to enjoy them, don't get me wrong, there's still going to be little quirks and stuff with them. Like, for example, I'm not the biggest fan of the cockpit view in them or the first person view, which I would say most players probably didn't. Like, going around turns or trying to turn, like, the bike and stuff, or going around traffic, it was kind of fast or twitchy and it kind of looked a bit weird, so I always played in like the regular classic camera, and I really did love going insanely fast through the entire map of Los Angeles, basically going insane speeds. Crazily enough, the motorcycles also do around 230, at least the Ducati does, the other one, not the Monster, and also the Kawasaki Ninja as well. You can literally cruise down some of the highways or some of the other roads doing 230 miles an hour, and yeah, when you're doing 230 on a bike in this game, bro, you are legit straight up scooting. It is literally insane. I wish other games had the sense of speed feeling this game did, or at least kind of get closer to that, because I feel like the newer games just don't have that greatest sense of speed, or, you know, I'm kind of referring to like the Crew and stuff like that that has motorcycles. The overall sense of speed in that game is obviously not great. Funny thing is, the last game I did play in the recent times that really made me think of Midnight Club, I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to agree with this, that's going to be Need for Speed Unbound. The reason for that is they did end up adding the new BMW S1000RR to it, and my goodness, man, that bike legit brought me right back to Midnight Club with the way that it handled, the way that it drove. It was going to be fast, the sense of speed was there, the bike was really agile. I was immediately like, you know what, I need to go play Midnight Club again, man. This thing is so dope. And surely enough, I started playing Midnight Club Los Angeles, and it just brought all the memories back to me. I'm over here trying different motorcycles out in the game. I'm trying out the Ducati, trying out the Kawasaki and stuff, flying around corners. I do like the way they handle now. Before anybody does say it, I do understand Midnight Club is going to be very arcadey. Like, sure, you're not going to get on this game and have like an entire simulator for a motorcycle, bro. Like, I understand that. It isn't going to be Ride or something. You're going to be playing a game that, well, it is going to be heavily focused on, like, I guess you could say the arcadey fun factor, which we all do know Midnight Club was about that, man. I mean, you're not going to jump on a Midnight Club game and go, oh my gosh, this game is so unrealistic. I mean, right? Like that's not going to happen, bro. So you're probably going to get on this knowing that it's probably going to be a fun, unrealistic type of racing game. And I have such a great time every time I get on. I mean, heck, again, almost 17 years later, I did end up jumping on this game the first time in 2025, not too long ago. And it is still so dang entertaining, riding the bikes more, just doing races, flying around the city. I love the way the bikes feel. Now, a few things I did notice about this though, so I all would say a lot of players most likely did use zone. That was something I always ran at Midnight Club Los Angeles, or I guess you could say the old Midnight Club game as well. I like the ability to slow things down, especially using a motorcycle. They can feel like, I guess you could say the Ducati's more in this factor. I was noticing that bike is kind of twitchy at certain moments. So having something like zone is really going to help you pretty much dial that in. If you're going around a corner too fast, you can hit the zone, get around it a little bit quicker. If you see a car, you know you're going to twitch into it, or maybe you might end up, you know, turning into it. At least you're going to have a chance to get around that said vehicle. So I would say, you know, using zone on a motorcycle in this game will make it even better over some of the over special abilities that you will end up seeing in the game. The other thing I was noticing about using motorcycles a bit in this game, going through a bunch of different races, the motorcycles are going to be incredibly good. They are going to be very fast, but there is also going to be a skill level to them that I would say some people might argue with me on and stuff like that. But I also feel like people are going to agree, though. We all do know the motorcycles are going to be incredibly quick. I was looking at forums of people saying, yo, are you looking to beat the entire game? Just use a motorcycle. That is going to be very true. And I did end up seeing the flip side of people talking about that with the motorcycles going, okay, well, if you use a motorcycle, you're easily going to be able to win and stuff. You're probably going to be able to get through most of the events, which is going to be true. Don't get me wrong on that. But the other side of it is, though, if you are going to be crashing, maybe having issues with the motorcycles, or you are kind of prone to crashing them a bit more, which don't get me wrong, when I was starting out playing the game a bit, I was definitely crashing more than I wanted to. And heck, I even do, even right now, guys. Like, I still crash in a car sometimes going around turns. I'm like, man, what was I thinking there? I knew I wasn't going to be able to make that turn. Or if I crash into a vehicle, I'm not driving a car. You're not going to bounce off it. No, bro, you're going to legit crash, cause an animation. And then the other AI are most likely going to catch you. And when you're doing harder events and stuff, and also doing some of the dub races or just any event on hard for that matter, then yeah, you really don't want to be messing up like that, bro, because if you do, you are most likely going to get absolutely cooked. I was actually doing a race on the Ducati, guys. I was kind of struggling a bit, not going to lie. I was doing a wager event with that thing. I was trying to win the 14 grand, and legit, I think I crashed about 3 or 4 times in that. I was racing a 4GT, and you know what's funny? It was legit gone, bro. Like, that 4GT was gone. I was like, maybe I might have a small chance. No, you don't, bro. You are cooked, my friend. Like, if you crash like that, then yeah. So, I do feel like there's going to be a mild learning curve there when you are using a bike, getting used to it. And funny part is, you're probably still going to crash here and there, even though there's going to be like a, once you get the skill factor for you get faster, you will probably still end up messing up. It is going to be the nature of sometimes that it happens, you know what I mean? But with all of that being said, though, playing Midnight Club Los Angeles, guys, I guess part of this is probably going to be the Midnight Club series in general. Playing Los Angeles and riding the bikes on this game for hours on end, I had such a great time driving around Los Angeles. The sense of speed, the way the bikes feel, like you're doing 200 miles an hour, man. 220 miles an hour. You are legit skirting, bro. Like, it is legit crazy how fast it does feel like that you are moving in the game. I feel like they did such a great job with it. Maybe you might just want to cruise around the city a little bit. Maybe, like, take in the sights or something. Take in the lighting and stuff. Because, yeah, this game is from '08. I still think it looks pretty dang good for what Rockstar was trying to do with it. And it really kind of makes me wish they'd make another game like this. Because here's the insane part, guys. There is not a lot of racing games that are open world with this kind of customization, this kind of stuff that also has motorcycles in it. The only game I can actually think of that has it is going to be the Crew series, and unfortunately with TCM recently that, well, we all do know in that game they kind of butchered the motorcycles a lot. Like, they are legit terrible. They were a lot better in the Crew 2. They were a lot better in the Crew 1. But for some odd reason in Motorfest, they destroyed them. And I don't even like using bikes in TCM anymore. In fact, I go on the Crew 2 to run them. But even playing that, though, it still makes me really wish we'd have something along the lines of Midnight Club that really had that entire crazy setting where bikes were going to be quick. And you can easily race all kinds of things, probably go really fast through the city. And if you're going 200 miles an hour, bro, it is going to feel like it. That's something that I miss. That was also why when I was playing something like Need for Speed Unbound, I'd get on there and go, yo, I just want to ride the BMW. Can I please have this bike in free roam? Let me keep it. Let me go ride it. Because I bet you would probably find full lobbies of everyone riding the bike. It legit felt that great, man. But unfortunately, they didn't do it. At least I don't think they did. And doing that in that game, though, really made me want to go back to Midnight Club Los Angeles, ride the motorcycles, because I knew how the bikes felt in this game. I am going to be a bike guy myself, guys. I love riding bikes. I pretty much have been for around, I think it's like almost 8 years now. I have been riding street bikes. So seeing something like MCLA being this old and giving me those feelings on a motorcycle in a video game is honestly insane. Don't get me wrong, I do know you could probably go play Ride or something, but that's going to almost be a simulator type of racing game where Midnight Club or The Crew is probably going to be pretty much an arcade type. Like, you're not going to have a realistic turning radius on Midnight Club, man. But funny part is, being able to grip some of the tighter corners in this game, doing 130, 140, is so dang entertaining. Flying around that corner, gripping it. You really are going to have a great time with the bike physics, at least I think you will. And part of that might end up coming down along the lines of, yo, it's not going to be a realistic standpoint, but also a fun factor. And you can really find yourself having such a great time with the bikes. On top of that, guys, even back in Midnight Club Los Angeles, the motorcycles were going to have customization. There wasn't going to be a ton of stuff. I will show a few things with the Ducati and the Kawasaki in the background. That way you guys can check some of that out if you might have missed it. Like, there's not going to be an insane amount of stuff, but there are still going to be some things you can change with them. Playing Midnight Club Los Angeles also makes me mad excited to go back to Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. I really cannot wait to play that game again, guys, and also stay tuned for content on it. Really looking forward to doing that. That game I probably haven't played in like probably 16 plus years, so I really am excited to jump back on that. But playing Midnight Club pretty much in general really makes me wish they bring something like this series back. Like, it's just a special thing in this game. The way the cars perform, the customization, the fact that there's motorcycles, the setting of it, the atmosphere, all of it really does play so well together, and I feel like players would absolutely love it. That is something I really have noticed playing this game hours on end recently. In fact, guys, this is probably going to sound insane. I have legit been playing some of these older games more than I have been on any of the crew games or any of the, like, test drive and stuff like that. I am waiting for Forza, which is probably a big part of that. But I would say a lot of players are probably going to go back into some of these games and realize how special they were, and most likely also have a wonderful time in them. Now, quick thing I did also want to mention here is I was using the Kawasaki, which is going to be the Big Ninja, which in fact I haven't seen this bike in basically any other game that I can think of. You're also going to see the Ducati, I think it's the 1098R or whatever. I was riding both bikes, guys. I always used to ride the Ducati, but I discovered something. If you are looking to use a motorcycle in this game, you want to get better with them. Let's say you're getting back in MCLA, you're playing it a bit more, and you might be trying to do more races, guys. The Ducati is great. It is probably going to be arguably the best bike in the game, but I have to recommend something. If you are looking to have a better time on a motorcycle, guys, try out the Kawasaki. You're not going to be spending more money on it. They are pretty much going to be the same thing when it comes to upgrading and stuff like that. I mean, heck, buy both of them, or if you have completed the game, you basically get every vehicle for free anyway, so you could probably test them out and all that. But one thing I noticed, though, is the Kawasaki is so dang stable. Not only is it going to be stable, the overall speed of it is going to be very similar to the Ducati. I managed to get both bikes to do around 230 on the highway, so I would almost say they're almost neck and neck in some way. Now, yeah, the Ducati's probably going to feel a tad more agile, as it should, because I believe the ZX14R, whatever that bike is, I think that's what it is in Midnight Club, is going to be a very heavy motorcycle in real life, so getting around a turn on that is pretty much like trying to turn a Hayabusa going against like a racing Ducati or a lighter sport bike like that. So it does make a lot of sense. But I would say though, guys, if you are trying to get into Midnight Club, you're using some of the bikes, you might hate the Ducati, might be a little bit twitchy. Try out the Kawasaki, trust me. It is legit that good. I really have been having a great time with it. I've been doing a bunch of races on this bike. I've been pretty much winning a lot of them, having a really fun time with it. So I would recommend trying that out if you are trying to get into the bikes, or maybe you're trying to go back and play some old games like I am and you're trying to experience some stuff. So I would recommend trying that out. But overall, though, do let me know your thoughts on the motorcycles in Midnight Club Los Angeles. I really do wish more games would capture the overall feeling this game did end up having. I would say, again, the closest feeling I had to the motorcycles in Midnight Club Los Angeles is probably going to be the BMW that was going to be in Need for Speed Unbound. I feel like they captured that very well. Definitely brought me back into the overall feeling the motorcycles had back in Midnight Club. I really wish we'd actually have more open world racing games that had bikes in them. Who knows, maybe we might get them, maybe we might not. I guess time is going to tell on that. But besides all of that though, I could probably keep ranting on and stuff like that, guys, but it really is insane to me the fact that I'm jumping on Midnight Club Los Angeles. I do know this game is, obviously pretty old, but I'm having a lot more fun doing the races on this game on a motorcycle, experiencing it, flying around the city on it, doing 200 miles an hour doing the races. It's insane how this game can capture it, but the newer games just seem to fall so dang short of that. Again, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below.